She was ready to destroy another woman's happiness just to steal the man she loved. But Linda was about to learn something painful. Some love cannot be stolen, no matter how dark the plan. Linda walked slowly out of the large gates of the textile company for the last time. Her resignation letter had already been approved. To everyone at the office, she had given a simple explanation. "My parents found me a better job," she had said politely. Her co-workers believed her without question, but the truth was something far darker. As she stepped into the noisy streets of Lagos, watching buses roar past and traders shouting in the markets, Linda stopped for a moment. A slow, dangerous smile appeared on her face. She whispered quietly to herself, "Frank will be mine, even if I have to destroy everything around him." She pulled out her phone. Her fingers moved quickly as she dialed a number. The call connected. "Hello, Williams." Her voice was calm. "It's Linda. I need to see you. Let's meet at a restaurant. I'll send the location." She ended the call slowly, and just like that, a dangerous plan had begun. A few weeks later, Linda started working at a radio station as a presenter. Everyone admired her confidence and her beautiful voice on the microphone. But every time she sat behind the studio desk, smiling at the listeners, her mind was thinking about only one thing: Frank. That evening, she arrived at the restaurant to meet Williams. He was already waiting at a corner table. When she sat down, she smiled politely. "Thank you for coming." After a moment of silence, she leaned forward slightly. "Are you still dating Rita?" Williams shook his head bitterly. "No, she ended things after she discovered I cheated." Linda nodded slowly. Then she said something that immediately caught his attention. "I have a business deal for you." Williams frowned. "What kind of deal?" Linda's eyes narrowed slightly. "If you can break Rita's relationship with the man she plans to marry, I will share my salary with you every month." Williams stared at her. For a moment, he wondered if she was serious. Then he leaned back in his chair and smiled slowly. "So you want me to destroy her relationship?" Linda smiled back calmly. "Yes." Williams thought for a few seconds. Then he stretched out his hand across the table and said, "Deal." Linda shook his hand, and just like that, the trap was set. The next morning, Williams walked boldly into the textile company where Rita worked. He carried a large bouquet of red flowers. The moment Rita saw him, her body froze. They had not spoken in weeks. Why was he here? Before she could react, Williams suddenly dropped to his knees in front of her. The entire office turned to watch. "Rita," he shouted loudly, "I was a fool. I have realized that you are the only woman I truly love. Please forgive me." Employees whispered in shock. Rita felt her face burn with embarrassment. "Williams, please stand up," she said nervously. But he continued, "I want you back." Rita took a deep breath and spoke firmly. "I'm sorry. I have moved on. I'm about to get married." But even though she rejected him, the damage had already begun. Inside his office, Frank, the company manager, had witnessed everything through the glass walls. Later that day, he called Rita into his office. "Who was that man?" he asked quietly. Rita sighed. "He's my ex-boyfriend. We broke up a long time ago." Frank nodded, but something had already entered his mind: doubt. 2 days later, Williams returned again, this time with chocolates and another bouquet. Once again, he knelt in front of Rita, begging loudly for forgiveness. The entire office watched the drama unfold. Rita felt humiliated, and Frank watched everything again. That evening, Frank invited Rita to a restaurant. The atmosphere was tense. Finally, he spoke. "I think it might be better if we delay the wedding for now." Rita's was shocked. "Postpone it? Why?" Frank sighed deeply. "You need to settle things with your ex first. I don't want confusion in our marriage." Tears filled Rita's eyes. "But Frank, I have nothing to do with him anymore." But Frank had already begun to doubt. Meanwhile, Linda waited patiently for the next part of her plan. One afternoon, Frank went to his regular supermarket to buy groceries. Just as Linda expected, she appeared there too, pretending to shop. When she saw him, she smiled warmly. "Frank, what a surprise." They began talking casually. Then Linda asked gently, "How are the wedding preparations going?" Frank sighed. "The wedding has been postponed." Linda widened her eyes, pretending to be shocked. "Oh no, I'm so sorry. Then she told him about her new job at the radio station. Before leaving, she said softly, "I'm visit you sometimes." Frank nodded. He saw no harm in it. Soon, Linda began visiting Frank at his house. Again and again, always friendly, always supportive, always patient, waiting for the moment when Frank's heart would finally break. But one evening, something happened that shook Linda completely. Rita arrived at Frank's house. She was crying. She rushed toward him. "Frank, please believe me. I have settled everything with my ex. I don't want him anymore. I only want you." Frank looked into her eyes, and in that moment, he knew she was telling the truth. He pulled her into his arms. "Don't worry," he whispered. "Everything will be okay." They stood there, holding each other tightly, and Linda was standing nearby, watching everything. Her hands slowly curled into fists. Her chest burned with anger. Inside her mind, she whispered bitterly, "So you still came back to take him from me?" Her eyes darkened. "If this plan fails," she paused. Her voice inside her head became colder. "Then the next one will succeed." Linda turned and walked away slowly, leaving Frank and Rita still holding each other. But this time, Linda was planning something far more dangerous. Moral: when two hearts truly love each other, jealousy and deception may shake them, but true love is stronger than lies.